This is BofC Live, the video and podcast series of Business of Cannabis. Find out all that we do at businessofcannabis.com. Coming up on this BofC Live, we connect with Ian Kwechansky and Kevin Lamb of Loophole, a Canadian-based cannabis company that has direct relationship with Canadian artists and creators and supports those artists and creators with proceeds from the cannabis brand. This is Ian Kwechansky and Kevin Lamb from Loophole. Ian and Kevin, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
I'm excited to have you because we're going to talk about Loophole. Love it. See, I did it right this time.
Love that.
Give us the quick and dirty on Loophole, and then we'll get into it.
Loophole is a artist co-owned cannabis brand that'll be launching in Ontario this January. The unique thing about us is we are co-owned by a collective of 7 major artists. So Our Lady Peace, Blue Rodeo, Stars, Felix Cartel, Kaiza, Division, and Roy Woods. So
I like how you did that. That was very good.
You gotta have, and it's all the genres as well too. You have rock, country, alternative, EDM, pop, rap, and hip hop. Rap and R&B. And the differentiator between us is we're going beyond the product, and instead we're going to use a portion of our proceeds to create a grant program for independent and underrepresented artists. So at the store, we're the first brand you can differentiate in 2 words, which is support creators.
Yeah. Well, should we just end the interview there?
That's it.
Thank you. Mic drop.
Thank you so much.
Just kidding, but thank you. That's a very good overview, and I know you're practiced in it because you're on Dragon's Den, so people know you from that, and that was a very good pitch.
Most of it.
No, well, yeah, that's true, most of it. But also I got to, because of Loophole, I got to talk to Rain Maida, which was cool too. So I feel a little bit cooler by association that I actually
That's why I started the whole company, by the way.
So you get to talk to Rain Maida?
Absolutely.
That'll do. So we're obviously standing here with Kevin.
Yeah.
And Kevin is your new hire, I guess we could say. Kevin, talk about where you came from. You're now the Chief Commercial Officer of Loophole. Shit. But talk about where you came from because obviously it'll plant the seeds.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm glad to be here. Glad to partner with Ian and get this company up and running and commercializing. So yeah, it's been exciting. Obviously, my background at the OCS has been useful and helpful to be able to navigate the waters with the boards as well. So we're starting in Ontario. We're going to go over to Alberta, BC, Saskatchewan. Sky's the limit on that, but being able to commercialize and get something listed within the boards, that's something I'm able to help out. And now, then the next evolution is to start selling the product to consumers, to licensed retailers. So super excited about that.
It is exciting, and because your work at the Ontario Cannabis Store, it is challenging for brands to differentiate themselves, not only in this environment, but all brands are new-ish now, or still, and like how to differentiate is critically important, which is why the company has a unique thing that they offer, of course, to consumers and to boards, but I think the real nugget is that having bud tenders be able to say something is like the juiciest.
There's a coolness factor. So I'll tell you, even whether at board level or right now, stores and the consumers are always asking for 2 things. What's the highest THC?
Right.
What's new?
Right.
We fit the new and coolness factor, so we got something to talk about. People are excited about the product and they want to try it. They want to continue to buy it. So we've got that locked and loaded.
Yeah, it is very, very compelling. And Ian, talk a little bit about sort of when you conceived the company. Like, what were you thinking the landscape was going to look like? Because the landscape shifts so dramatically. Was it really we're going to create something independent of what is happening sort of outside because we're going to do this like support creators? Like, think about that and sort of what the landscape is right now.
I think I sort of saw where I thought things were going to go. The analogy I like to use is like, you saw companies like Canopy and Aurora who built out these mega facilities assuming that they could sell absolutely every single product that they made. And there is no brands that were out there yet. So where I was really looking at it, the analogy I sort of use is people don't buy Pepsi because it's made with Red Path sugar. They buy Pepsi because it's made with Pepsi.
Right.
And so where I really saw was, people were really looking at the short term at that time, which was we need to create all these facilities to grow all this cannabis. We need to grow all these things ready for 2.0. But at the end of the day, all those things don't matter unless you actually have a brand that's actually going to sell through. And when I started reading C45 and saw those regs and saw how unbelievably restrictive they were going to be, like, we need something different. And when you need to do something different, and as well within our regulations, it's very, very difficult, but I think there's a huge opportunity to build a brand by being social forward. And I thought that was a really, really cool opportunity, and to create something of substance over celebrity, which I felt was being overemphasized, and coming from my background in music, that's that's not a long-term viable business. That doesn't speak to the hearts of consumers.
Right. And it is this authenticity that I think is, we've seen celebrity brands,
Yep.
for sure. We've even seen music-led celebrity brands.
Many of them.
But it's really a one-way street, not a two-way street, and not a sort
Yes.
of way to grow the pie, I guess is my point. Like, yes, of course, artists are getting paid to rep brands. That's happened forever.
Yep.
Relatively unsuccessfully, I
Yep.
think, in cannabis. But it is this idea that these people are bought in and authentically engaged
Yep.
and Canadian. Like that, all those things seem to be a nice mix.
By design, it was like created like that because so the challenges that some of the other ones were doing, they were selling on a brand of celebrity over substance. That very, 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 very few companies that will ever resonate with, first and foremost. So as a long-term strategy, that's not the right approach to be able to do it. And from our end, what I really drew a lot of inspiration from was two different companies. One was Beats by Dre.
Yeah.
You know, they became huge because they didn't fragment out the market to go a Drake headphone, a LeBron headphone,
Right.
a Kylie headphone. They united all these different groups under one banner, and that's how you really achieve mass appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also look at a company like Red Bull. Red Bull never sold a can of their product by going like, Red Bull tastes like Crush Pills and baby aspirin.
Right.
They did it by organically integrating into lifestyle and culture. And I've always been a big believer of enable the creators and the loyalty will come.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't seeing that happening. And I saw that opportunity and where I think I saw this industry going in a few years' time and where it will continue to go.
Yeah. And Kevin, thinking about that, because you've seen the full landscape and not only things that are on the shelves that we all see, but probably lots of things that we don't see that just don't make it. And thinking about the positioning of the company, like how unique from your perspective is that on the landscape of all the things you've seen?
Yeah, so you touched on it. There's been a number of celebrity brands that have not made it, and to be honest, even at the board level at the time.
You can say they suck.
Well, okay, I won't say that, but it was a difficult hill to climb. So, obviously a little bit concerning on how do we will differentiate. But truly, to Ian's point, these are artist owners. They're part of the company. They're not just somebody licensing a name and trying to be out there. That's fundamentally different.
Yeah.
The other part of it is that we have the ability to create and select strains that really resonate with the consumer, with the artist as well. So down the road, there's a lot of collaborations that we can do, think about, and I think that's really super exciting. And again, back to answering the question, what's new? We're nimble enough to be able to make that change and adjustment and say, hey, let's pick something short-term, like an in-and-out SKU or something, to keep that always fresh and exciting for licensed retailers, but also for consumers.
I love it. I appreciate you guys taking time. It's been nice to get to know you and your previous role, but nice to see you here. And thanks for stopping by.
Great, thank you.
That was Ian Kwechansky and Kevin Lamb from Loophole. If you like this program, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you heard the show. It helps support the work we do. We're able to do what we do because of ongoing partnerships with Alterna Savings, Cannabis at Work, Cannabis Benchmarks, Can Delta, Gallagher, Headset, and Torque and Main. Find out all that we do at businessofcannabis.com.